if you were to build your ultimate game based upon pieces of other games, i.e. story from one game and gameplay from another, what games spring to mind that you would take inspiration from? Now, I will start if people's wants, just to get things crack-a-lacking or juices flowing. If you haven't thought of any ideas yourselves, you can just sort of pick apart mine, or, you know, copy and paste your own into it. So first off, I'm thinking story from The Last of Us, because that is where that game excels. It's story. That's what makes that game great. Personally, for me, I'm a little underwhelmed with it, because the story is amazing. That's the thing that takes it from a good game to a great game. It is definitely a thing that every other game should take note. Oh, story should be brought up to this level. However, I think in gameplay terms, personally for me, it was a little bit lacking, and the pacing's a bit weird. I'm just not used to that sort of pacing.
It's a little repetitive.
It's like there's really weird, like, quiet spots, if you know what I mean, and maybe that makes sense to be like sort of atmospheric, but it's like there are periods where nothing's going on, and I'm almost bored.
It would have made a fantastic film.
Yeah, it will make.
Yeah,
they're going to make it a film probably, and everybody's like championing that game as The Last of Us, like everything should be like The Last of Us. I think the only thing everybody should take from The Last of Us is the story. I think in gameplay terms, they could really pull the gameplay up, because for me the gameplay is okay, it's good, it's average to be fair, but the story, when you combine it, which is like brilliant, one of the best, possibly one of the best stories ever. You know, it's up there in the top.
The concept's great,
top 3
as
or
well.
something.
The creatures that they made.
Their spin on zombies as well. It's definitely was a refreshing thing. So you didn't feel
original.
So you didn't feel tired of the whole zombie nonsense, which is easy to do in other games.
Kind of irrelevant and off topic, but like one of the cool things I found about it was that actually one of the programs on Cartoon Network, like I don't know if people in America know about that.
Of course they know about it.
I don't know. It's like
from.
It's from.
Never mind that. Let's pretend I didn't say that. But anyway, like one of the programs on Cartoon Network, the like World of Gumball or something. It's makes a clicker reference.
Oh, does it?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was watching it the other day. I was just like, no way.
There's a game recently that was kind of using clickers. I forget what it was, and yeah, it just seemed like a straight rip-off from The Last of Us. But you know, it's a good idea. It's very atmospheric. You hear that clicker, and instantly that like pang of dread is. You know,
have I got any shivs?
It's about, but yeah. So yeah, I think the story on that is great, but personally for me, I know I'm probably going to get lambasted for this, but the gameplay, I really hope they improve that for the next Last of Us. Personally, gameplay terms, this might sort of people might be like, oh, you're going to say that gameplay's not great, and then you move on to this. But for me, Resident Evil 4, the way it felt, I mean, now to modern standards, it's a little bit clunky, to be fair, because the control scheme's not right. Maybe the remaster will help with that going into the future, so we'll see how that goes. But for me, the way Resident Evil felt and played, and even the atmosphere to a degree, you know, I feel that's the gameplay. Like I played it again recently, and it just pulled me back in. I thought I wasn't going to be able to get over the clunky controls, but after about 40 minutes, I forgot about the controls and just got into the gameplay loop of the game. I think in terms of third-person shooters, like that for me is probably my favourite third-person shooter ever. So, from that extent for gameplay,
I think that game is terrifying the first time you play it.
Yeah, it's
when you
perhaps
first
not
see
the
the
scariest,
thinking,
but
it's the
chainsaw man,
village,
the chainsaw man.
Oh my God, I don't know how to deal with this many enemies all at once. I've been playing for 12 minutes.
It's a steep learning curve, isn't it, when you hit the village and you think, oh, how am I going to get past this? Or, you know, normally when a steep learning curve happens, you're like, oh, this just becomes frustrating. But for some reason in the village, it doesn't feel frustrating. You just sort of
I think you feel absolutely empowered as well after you crack it.
And yeah, once you've done it, you're like, fuck yeah. I blasted that fool with my shotgun. I figured out, you know, this is the place to make my Alamo and hold off and stuff. And, you know, kick the fools off the ladders and shit. That's, you know.
Yeah.
So super, yeah. So there is an empowerment once you get past that bit. In terms of environment, I went from, or you could say world, if you will, like, you know, the map. I went from Fallout 3, because that's the best thing about those games for me, without a doubt, is exploring those worlds. the gameplay is a little bit janky. It's a Bethesda game, so there's glitches galore. The story is, although good, usually ends up wishy-washy by the end. So it has its flaws, but the world is the thing that makes those games amazing. And so if you could take a world similar to that and bring it into, you know, your perfect game, douchey air quotes, then I think that would be the thing to do. And then in terms of like our mechanics, I'd have like RPG mechanics from, say, Final Fantasy VII, like sort of similar to the materia system, but now as it's a Resident Evil 4 based game, it would be like an action RPG. So that would be like the level progression and stuff.
Before even the fight, you have to strategize with your setup, and that's part of what makes that excellent. You feel even before the fight ever begins. Yeah, you're like preempting. Oh, I'm going into this area, so what materia do I want to put on here? You know, like the Art of War, you're setting up your battlefield before you ever. Enter it.
Yeah. You're planning it or whatever. You know, preparing. For, you know, fail to prepare. What is it? Preparing. I can't even. I'm doing a George Bush. What's
failure to prepare
is to prepare
to fail. That's it. I did a George Bush. I didn't know. Like, you know.
I mean, God knows how to go at George.
Someone throw a shoe at me already. Yeah. Anyway, so that would be my, you know, mechanics or level progression from that, and then atmosphere I take from Silent Hill. So not per se anything in particular, but just the general dread from Silent Hill games. You know, from walking around in that world, from even the foggy world, which is scary enough, and then going into like the hell dimension or whatever. You know, that sort of atmosphere. So
you
like,
literally
it could flip on a dime.
You have to force yourself to push on sometimes. It's so creepy. You know that something awful is coming, and you have to go through it anyway. I'm
not usually a big scary game person, especially back when I played it, which I must have been like, what, 15 or something.
I think they crack atmosphere like no other game.
But yeah, the first game, especially, it was so very new back then. It's like, it was scary as shit, but you pushed on because, you know, just how engrossing and atmospheric it was.
Your first weapon is a stick.
Yeah.
A stick?
It's alright. That's like a tradition, isn't it? It's like, it's not even a good stick. It's not even like a plank of wood. It is literally like a fucking little bamboo cane that you mess about whipping each other when you're a kid or whatever. It's pathetic. It was kind of good like that. They purposefully make you kind of weak, so you even more, you know, you've got even more dread or whatever.
I never played the games. Well, I tell a lie. I tried to play the games when I was younger. Keep in mind that there's quite a bit of an age difference between like us and stuff. So literally it was like shit scary, so we ended up just taking it back to wherever we rented. But I've seen the movie and it was one of the most like,
the movie's really good for keeping the essence of what that game is.
It makes me very sad how it got
the original one anyway,
and the sequel makes me very sad as well. But
the sequel makes me angry.
Silent Hill movie captures the feel and the
I didn't see the sequel because I didn't hear good things.
Silent Hill was horrible.
The only thing
the creepiness
that's good to be said about the sequel is that you get a full frontal of Jon Snow.
Is it?
I've just remembered it's Jon Snow.
That's not really for me, but hey.
Well, we're going to have to rewatch that.
It's the only thing that makes it good. I think you see his butt, which is quite nice.
Jon Snow, I forgot he was in that. Oh yeah. Okay.
Lovely. Okay, so Jon Snow is also the main character of this game, and his butt. He has to wear chapless pants all the time. And it's a third person. It's a third person game, so the camera's back, so you can see it like wobbling at all times, right?
Weird.
It's for
wobbling.
you.
He's got a firm tight ass. Thank you.
Oh, whatever. How the fuck should I know? Anyway, swiftly moving on. And finally, the art style from BioShock. So it has the aesthetic from the BioShock world, because I think that nails aesthetic even better than Fallout in terms of like sort of weird retro futuristic sort of cool. You know, I think it's creepy as well as, you know, like Jetson-ified, if you will, or whatever. So I think that's the thing to go. So yeah, if you guys want to, like, if you've got any ideas, pieces you swap out, or, you know, anything you want to, you know, talk about specifically.
It's hard because you fit it into categories a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can make up your own category if there's one you feel I've missed. You know.
I don't know. I just have to pick some things at random a little bit, I think.
It's quite hard to contend with because you've thought it out. I hate saying it, you've done quite a good job.
But you could go like character. What sort of character would you like? Dude, a chick? Do you want it to be, you know, Dante or
I
like
think
Cloud?
it'd have to be a zombie game for me because I'm all for the zombies.
Yeah. I
Or
didn't really specify the
in,
enemy, really, do I? But yeah.
it's some form of zombie or like supernatural evil thing. There's got to be something.
I don't think per se it needs to be like a zombie or something mystical like that. Even if you take like Bioshock, it's like they're just humans that have gone all fucked up and wrong. They've gone a bit dystopian.
Nah.
So just something that's kind of dark.
Bioshock, I've not played 1, but 2 is excellent. They're called splicers.
Yeah.
And basically, you can go to a booth, you can go to like a machine on the street, and you can change out genes that you don't like.
Yeah.
You can remake your DNA.
Yeah, but you kind of become like a crackhead, and everything starts going a bit.
Yeah, you want
up.
more and more, and yeah. They're cool,
I've played 1 and 3, so I have not played 2. I recently bought it in the Steam sale, so one day I'll get around to that as well. So
Bioshock is really good. I never thought I'd like it, and I did a lot.
Yeah, it's a cool game. I mean, the gameplay is like it's very linear in a sense, but the world is like amazing. If they ever make an open world Bioshock, you know, that's something I'm going to jizz my pants over. So you know, that's good shit.
I would say I've not got to fit it into a particular category. It's a kind of like games that had a big impact on you. One that I enjoyed that surprised me was Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yeah.
It is kind of empty. It's a weird game. You've got a big empty open world.
Yeah.
And you've got however many Colossuses roaming about. Now you get on your horse and you blaze and you look for one and you scout the area and you look for weaknesses and you try and work it out. It's a very simple concept, but I enjoyed the crap out of that game.
And then you've got to scale
and when
these
you
fucking
see
massive
this
titans.
giant thing on the horizon and you're a little weedy bloke.
Yeah. So like a sense of scale you would add, like to something to be in awe of or whatever. It's kind of a similar sort of aspect. If no one's played that game too, I suppose Kratos and Dante, they sometimes fight like ridiculously massive creatures, but perhaps in a more methodical sense you would combat them as opposed to.
It's almost a realistic sense of strategy because you can't rush in. You've literally got to like scope it out, and it's almost like Hitman in a way, but huge.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful and terrifying when you first see them, and you think, how on earth? You really have to think it out and climb up like structures around it and work out a plan. Very good.
Yeah. It's like I think it's cool to put a sense of scale in. It's just sometimes it's difficult to make that work in gameplay things. And it's a similar thing with zombies and stuff. Like, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably want something a bit like mystical or whatever, but zombies are so tired now. Really, aren't they?
I agree with that.
As soon as something
there'd have to be some
popular,
it's like
done to death. Like
I love zombie
I'm
stuff. But
sick to death of superheroes.
yeah, same thing
God,
there.
give me
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
I was really impressed, to be honest, that when I played Until Dawn, have you played that? You've played that now, haven't you?
I've not completed it. I've not played much.
Okay then.
It's very clever. It's another story-driven one,
clever.
isn't it?
It is. It's so cinematic.
It's clever because you've got two plots unfolding at the same time.
Massively.
Yeah.
And they all kind of interloop together and everything. But what got me was the fact that, like, you think you're safe, you think you figured it all out, you think you know what's happening, and then they completely change it. And yeah, there is another enemy, so to speak, but it's something that you would never expect, never, at all.
Okay.
And the only reason that I knew even what this thing was, or
don't
what the
tell
enemy
me,
was.
'cause that does
I'm
sound
not going to.
interesting.
It's because I've seen it from somewhere else. If I hadn't seen it from somewhere else, I wouldn't have a clue. It's like a completely. I've never seen another game about it.
Curveball.
Yeah.
As soon as you think you know what's going down.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So that's what I really appreciate about that game.
Maybe I'll push through with that game a bit.
They
more.
haven't got. Yeah, they haven't got. Definitely do. But they haven't gone down the same stereotypical line as everything else. You know what I mean? Not. They've done really well with that.
Yeah.
So-
That's cool. So like a
even if it's
Good
curveball.
for story, definitely.
Double curveball.
You put a
Double curveball.
You put a curveball in your ultimate game. Then is that, what you go?
Yeah, but not even. I'd put a double one in.
I think that's good as well, because Bioshock 3, it doesn't have a curveball. It's kind of, you can feel it winding it up through the entire game, but the way it's sort of done and like it's kind of blows your mind, even though it's kind of a little bit cliche. It's like, I really like how
There's a few surprises.
How they unified that.
Most of them, certainly 2 and 3 that I've played.
Yeah, they all kind of do it to a degree.
Surprises.
3, that's the one I'm talking about. 3, it's like, I like how it suddenly unifies all the games as well in a weird sort of way, which is kind of cool, without trying to be too spoilery. So, but yeah, but still, it's been like 4 years or something, 5 years. Go play the fucking game already. But yeah, so I think curveball's good. I like moments of awe. I think a lot of games miss that, like something that just really makes you go, what the fuck, and blows your mind for a second. I think that's something that definitely should be.
Some try to throw it all at you at the beginning and save nothing for later.
Yeah, exactly. A sneaky little slow stealth wind up is what you need, and then boom, hit you with it. Once everything cue
that's
it
what
all
I
up
loved about it, because it does it twice. Like you think that's what's happening then. Like it finally makes sense. And then, there's a completely, another...
That's such a horror movie trope in a way, though, isn't it? It's like, oh, you think this is it, but actually it's this. That's, it's very horror movie-esque. I'll tell you something that's going to...
It's done well enough... You say that, but it's done well enough that you think that what you're getting at is the main story.
Yeah.
It's done cleverly.
You're never safe.
What's going to sadden you guys about this is... I heard news that the Ready Dawn... No, that's not them. They did... Order 1886. Anyway, the people who developed the original Until Dawn isn't going to be doing a sequel right now anyway. So the upshot of that is, though, it's owned by Sony, so they could give it to one of their other developers to do. But the same development team aren't making one.
It was a good game. It could have done with, in my opinion, being a bit cheaper, because it doesn't have loads of replay value.
Well, it does have loads of replay value. It's just that it's very short and samey, yeah. So, but it's I think that we'll see another one sometime soon, but I don't think it's going to be from the same developer. But still, better give that a go and maybe see if someone can do something decent with it, because I think there is a franchise there. Waiting to happen. So
it's like them. I remember them books as a kid. Where
choose your own adventure.
Yeah. I used to love that, but I always used to cheat.
Yeah, always.
If I died, I'd just go and see what was on the other page.
Yeah, you give yourself a mulligan and just carry on, wouldn't you? So, yeah, that's cool. I think we've come up with then. Well, this is more what my ultimate game is, with a little touch from each of you. But yeah, I think if with this game happened that we're talking about, it'd be the fucking best game ever. So,
yeah,
I reckon, or at least one of them. It'd be a masterpiece, but Anywho, wow, that's this month's Recon Cast done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed our shenanigans and tomfoolery, and don't forget to join in with our nonsense by posting your ideas for future topics in the comments. And as well as a name check, your topic could feature in an upcoming episode. Anywho, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more BS of a similar nature. Thank you, and goodbye.